Hi, this is Torres McBride with Torres Tech, and I wanted to finally announce the start day and time for our Q01 A2L refrigerant course. So we're going to be starting Saturday, May 31st at 9 a.m. However, instead of doing like a one day, 7.5 hour class, what I want to do is break it up. We're going to break it up into three 2.5 hour sessions. The reason for that is not only do I want this to be a course where people are going to learn the different skills or practice the skills, maybe they've already learned it, maybe they haven't practiced it in a while, but we want to make sure that people understand what they're doing when it comes to making sure that you're not going to be leaking any A2L refrigerants. I think this is very important. I think that a lot of people have gotten away. I think the entire industry, to be quite honest, as far as the uh, people who have the New York City refrigeration license, a lot of people have gotten away from these hands-on skills, and it's understandable because a lot of times you work in buildings where you may not have the ability to work on the machines constantly. However, what's taking place right now, basically all gas and oil equipment is going to be replaced in New York State over the next 5 to 10 years. And then what people really, really don't understand, there's two big reasons why I want to do this as a hands-on class. Um, the A2Ls are a temporary solution in terms of global warming. If you look at the regulations, it actually says that by the year 2034, you can't even use any HFCs, which means you can't use R32, you can't use R454B, which means that they want you to use A3 refrigerants or something like carbon dioxide that has like over 1,000 psi, 1,500 psi on the high side. So I think it's very important to make sure that these systems are not going to be leaking because eventually we're going to get to a point where we're going to have large A3 hydrocarbon, highly flammable refrigerants inside of these machines. But then the other aspect is this all of the majority of the equipment that's in use today in terms of rooftop units, split systems, they're using probably R410A. And I was just reading that the recovery rate for R410A is about 2%, which means that when people work on the machines, they're not really recovering the refrigerant. The reason why that's a problem is R22 and all other HCFCs were phased out in the year 2020. Right now, a can of R22 is $2,000. The same thing, exact thing is going to happen with R410A because there's going to be such a massive shortage when it comes time to get the refrigerant that you need. We already see that with R454B. I went to a store and they gave me a quote for like $2,000 for a 20-pound can. You're talking $100 per pound. So since all of this gas and oil equipment needs to be replaced with refrigerant containing equipment, it is incumbent that the people whose job it is to operate and manage this equipment, and forget about the record keeping. Like you have to keep records on all this stuff way more stringent than they used to before. And if you do not provide those records, then somebody could potentially go to jail. So that's why we're going to be doing this as a hands-on class. Down here, we have the sign up button. So you can actually sign up. I think I mentioned it before. It's going to be 1,050 for non-Taurus Tech students. If you're a former Taurus Tech student, send me a message. I'll send you a discount code for one person at a time that you can use to sign up for the course. And people know me. I work 18 hours a day, so we can do morning classes, evening classes, weekend classes, whatever it takes to make sure that people are going to get the skills to make sure they can do their job better. Talk to you later.